Alright, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex Widuch and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to bring you today's content because we got a couple things to go over with multiple cars, so that's a lot of content and lots of fun. So let's jump right into it, and if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit your post notification bell, and let's get to today's fun. So a lot of you guys who've been subscribed for a while, you know that I snapped my control arm, which then destroyed my fender and really just threw everything in here for a whirl. Now what I did not know after I made that video the very next day where I tried to repair the fender mount back up to the car, all that nonsense, is that this mount right here actually turned out that it's actually bent. It's supposed to come out, swoop up, and then mount out here. But as you guys can see, it's got a crazy bend to it, all that nonsense. Now, I went ahead and I bought a new fender because I thought that that mount wasn't the issue, but it's good to have a new fender anyway. That fender was destroyed. This fender right here, I'm not gonna mount onto the car until I get a new mount. I don't wanna mess this thing up. And also I don't have the wrap material fully, and I gotta bring it over to Wetter Wraps, and it's a whole thing. So I'm going to a car show tomorrow, local car show, not really a huge thing, but it's gonna be fun. And I wanna mount up the purple fender at least, just so I can get it on the car, get it over there. It's only half a mile from my house. We're gonna go for a quick little drive, post up, see some friends, see some things. So I want to get this mounted onto the car and get this mount all good. So little project, but we got multiple things to do around here, not just this car, so let's hop into it. Also, before we go ahead and rip that mount off, I just reminded myself we are rocking no external mic today, so comment down below what you guys think. Is the external mic good? Is it bad? Working in the garage, I think it works much better, but we're not gonna know until I edit this video. But also guys, today's like goal is 500 likes, and today's hashtag is hashtag smile. So throw hashtag smile down below, stay positive, and let's get ripping on these cars. There's only 2 Torx bits holding this mount on, and these Torx bits were full of grease slash sand in here. So I just took this little pick, I cleaned it out, and they're actually not even rusted, which is awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the 2 of those, and this bracket will come right off. All right, so I got this first bolt completely broken loose. The second bolt is about to come off. The whole bracket is completely loose. If this was done at the dealership, once they take the fender off, they would be like, oh, we gotta get the headlight off in order to do that. That's the bumper. So this is probably gonna be like an 8-hour job just to do this little thing. The dealers really like to just bone you, but I went ahead, took those 2 Torx bit off in about 3 seconds, and now it's gonna slide right off. So let's take this out. Such a beautiful sight. This thing's literally just hanging on here by a zip tie. So I gotta go ahead and cut the zip tie, but as you guys can see, this thing is literally supposed to be straight with a little bit of a bend actually going this way, and it's just completely bent the opposite way. The paint is all crackled back here and rippled and stuff, so I'm just gonna throw this in a vise and just try to bend it back and just mount it back onto the car, check the fender fitment, all that stuff. I just need this fender to bolt up correctly. The fender itself looks like trash, so I just want it to actually bolt up so that I can support the bumper and stuff, so let's go ahead and cut that zip tie. This is way worse than I actually thought it was when I completely got it off and got the zip tie all cut. This piece is actually completely bent up, and then this is bent down. So I gotta straighten this out and then bend this up this way. It's literally bent in the opposite direction that it needs to go, but hey. Oh, beautiful, almost straight, looks good. Now you guys can see how really messed up it is. Okay, that probably didn't bend it the way it needed to go, but. So we got that bracket all bent up, and I had to have done that at least 15 times, going back and forth, trying to line it all up. I got it lined up pretty decently. Right now, there's a big gap in here, but once all those other bolts are in there, I'm gonna push into this really hard. Like I said, this fender is messed up, the bracket is messed up, and I hate it all, so it's no good. But these lines are going pretty well. The fender is looking much better. I really hammered it out in a bunch of spots. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get all these bolts on here. Hopefully this looks much better, and we can go on to our next project. This gap here is really big, but this bolt is super loose. So once I push that all the way in, that gap closes right up. So all we gotta do is tighten this up, and then I'll tighten all the rest up. This would normally take a lot of work to line these gaps up, but this fender is so destroyed, the mount is so bent, that it's like not even worth it. But hey, we're cracking this out, so it's whatever. You gotta do what you have to do. I'm gonna put a bolt right here in the bottom, so this gap will close up a lot more. Let's see how it looks when I close the hood. That's the exhaust. Oh, that gap is That cap is way too good. Look at it, it's perfect, so whatever. Alright, so now we're ready to mount this bumper off. There was a little bit of protrusion there, but you guys know I got that all fixed up. Slide that back up into place. I gotta line that all up, but man, this fender is really coming into place and it's looking OEM. I mean, from here, guys, let me go down the comments and say, good or bad? Just good or bad? I don't know why I waited so long to get this fender back on, but I did it. I got the mount fixed, I got the fender fixed. It still has some crunches in it. I still have to mount up the bottom over there. You can obviously see there's some big dents right here, and I had to put that mount in right there. But before I went ahead and really tightened everything up, I wanted to make sure that my gaps were pretty good. And as far as this isn't OE, but this is a really good gap for as destroyed as this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this project up, and we're gonna head on over to the next thing for today. Last bolt to tighten up. All right, so everything is all bolted up. This fender, honestly, from here looks like nothing's wrong with it, which is awesome. You can tell down there at the bottom that there's some issues and you can see the dent and stuff, but I'm really happy with that. So I wanna head on over to the TT now. I took the TT for a drive this morning like I usually always do, and the exhaust was actually moving, and I know for what you guys are saying, it doesn't really matter if the exhaust is moving, but when it's solid mounted and it's moving, that means something is loose. So I'm gonna put this car up on some wood. We're gonna drive it up, just get up a few inches, and I'm gonna hop underneath there to check out the dog bone mount. So let's go grab some wood. So I only put a simple piece of wood underneath there. I'm not looking for anything too serious. I just want a couple extra inches to work with. So I gotta find the TT's keys, and I'm gonna start it up and just drive it up on that extra inch, and we're gonna hop underneath there. So if you guys saw the last vlog, I made a solid dog bone mount for the TT, and ever since then, it's been about 5 days since I originally had done that, and this thing has been absolutely awesome. It's been solid. Today, I went for a drive, and it showed itself that it was becoming maybe a little bit loose, and I speculate that the transmission bolt is a little bit loose. I didn't put any Teflon, I didn't put any red Loctite or anything like that, so if you guys missed that video, definitely check it out. Link is in the description after this video, but we're gonna head on underneath there, and we're gonna check this out. Hopefully it's not flexing and it's just loose. Always gotta warm it up. So I'm only driving it, I only drove it up on there real quick just so it had an extra inch or so from when I went underneath the car. I just want to be able to visually see it and see if the bolts are loose, because the bolts aren't loose and maybe there is a little bit of flex, or maybe it's just my eyes showing. The exhaust was literally barely moving, but I was like, it should be solid. So who knows, metal bends, but hopefully those bolts are tight, so let's head underneath there. What the? Really? Oh my God. There she is, boys. I'm about to go under, check her out. But I see a little bit of a gap there, so maybe it's just loose. We'll find out. Guys, so I hopped up underneath the TT and none of the bolts were actually loose, but there is a little bit of movement, and I think that that's due to the fact that I still have both the stock engine mounts in there, and I never really took into account, and I kind of was just overthinking the movement in there. So everything is completely tight, and this thing really doesn't move much. So, I mean, it's definitely got to be those stock old engine mounts that have 95,000 miles on them. But I'm about to take today's thumbnail with these two next to each other. I haven't seen a tilted TDI with a fender on it in a hot minute. And let me tell you, this thing is a ship, an absolute unit. Look at that. Just look at it. Let it sink in. Did you like the video yet? Make sure you guys like it. All right. Did you like it yet? Did you? All right. Okay, go like it. You know, in all seriousness, we're about to hop in the TT and go for a little rip, so I'm gonna finish up today's thumbnail, get these two beasts next to each other, and we're gonna head out. The man, the myth, the legend, Scott pulled up with the sour candy. What are these things called? The sour strips. The sour strips, these are gas. I'm not into sour stuff, but I'm about to have one of these. I'll give you guys a good review. 10 out of 10. Would definitely say to go buy some, what, 7-Eleven or something like that.
Yeah, buy them online or some shit.
Buy them online or some shit. I don't know what I should do, but this one seems the best. Beautiful. For the boys. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Hey guys, we just got back. This thing never went and overheated. It was great. We were burbling like no other. Scott was seeing all the burbles. So I actually brought, Scott, I brought you for a drive in this before I did the hood exit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so before I did the hood exit, I actually brought Scott. Scott's one of my neighbors, one of my boys. I brought him for a ride in it, and it was like, you know, no exhaust gasket. Like when I first got it, it was super slow. Yeah, it was a turd. Now it's still a turd, but it's faster. So, Scott, awkwardly gonna zoom into your face. Give it a scale from 1 to 10.
Solid 8.
Great. All right, guys, that's gonna be a wrap on today's video. Scott and I are gonna go play Frisbee. As you guys know, I'm an avid Frisbee player. We're just playing on the side lawn. The boys did not pick up their phones, so we're just gonna be doing a little bit here and there. But guys, I'm gonna be heading on out to the car show tomorrow. I'll be bringing the Tilted TDI. I've fallen in love with the way it looks again. I made a post this morning, and I said, oh my God, I love the TT more than the TDI, but you know what? That TDI is back in the light. This thing can roll down a hill, and I won't care. No, I actually care. I love this thing, but you know, at the end of the day, I just got this thing. I don't have that much time into it, so I'm falling back in love with the TDI. But that's gonna be a wrap on today's video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Hit your post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. We got some wild stuff coming up. I'm not gonna tell you what we got coming up, but this weekend, I'm going to see some friends, and I'm super excited, so hope you guys are excited as well. Make sure you're smiling. Don't even put you down. Your car is basically a branch off of you guys. So we're about to hit 20K, and I just appreciate you guys so much, so peace out. Oh yeah, and I can't forget about Scott. See you later, guys.
Like and subscribe, fuckers.
Woo!